Top 5 reasons JD Vance is the perfect VP pick. Now, I don't really know much about JD Vance. This is my first time looking at this article here, so be reading this together, and we'll find out if I agree with the author or not. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Zero Hedge's Tyler Durden, but the author of this is Steve Cortez from Real Clear Politics. And he reports that undeterred by even the sting of a would-be assassin's bullet, Donald Trump charged strongly onward into Wisconsin for the Republican National Convention. This demonstration of determination and life force provides a stark contrast to the dithering and often incoherent meandering of his opponent, Joe Biden. I mean, it's clear. Everyone sees that. Trump further accentuated that show of vitality by selecting a running mate who is sure to help him win, serve as an invaluable second in command for the next 4 years, and then carry the banner of America First into the future after Trump completes his second term. We hope so. As someone who has spent many hours with JD Vance and campaigned for him vigorously in his successful underdog Senate win, I can provide insight into the 5 best reasons that Vance was the pitch perfect pick. Okay, again, this is according to Steve Cortez. So he knows JD Vance intimately. He worked with him. 1, his backstory. Okay, so let's check out his backstory. Like Trump, Vance arrives in politics as an outsider. JD gained national recognition when he captured hearts and minds with his best-selling memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, and the Academy Award-winning movie adaptation. Wow, it was a movie. I didn't know that. With searing eloquence, he describes the challenges facing working class America, especially heartland communities decimated by economic decline and cultural decay. Vance shares his rare perspective as someone who rose from a troubled family and poor communities to an Ivy League law degree and professional success. For JD, a devoted grandmother and the U.S. Marine Corps formed his path towards upward mobility. The keys to his Horatio Alger life story that will resonate with voters, especially blue-collar citizens in battleground states. Okay. Number 2, America First foreign policy. Let's hear about his foreign policy. As a veteran who was deployed with the Marines to a war zone, Vance speaks with personal authority and authenticity when he counters the schemes of the interventionist Washington foreign policy establishment. In fact, Vance has emerged as one of the most persuasive voices for a true Trumpian international approach of realism and restraint. Regarding trade policy with China or military assistance to Ukraine, Vance represents well the growing populism of Republican and independent voters who insist that we secure America's own prosperity and our own border before prioritizing foreign and faraway regional battles. And I 1,000% agree with that. You got to take care of home first before you try to go out and help other people. So I definitely agree with that. These issues matter materially to voters. In fact, Trump's 2016 victory was decisively propelled by key voter shifts in the areas of battleground states with the highest concentrations of injured veterans. Those patriots rallied to Trump's peace agenda, and they will again. And I'm all for peace. Number 3, media and debate skills. Vance won his Senate seat as an outsider political novice in a hotly contested primary against far better financed opponent with significant political experience. This grueling come from behind win sharpened his media abilities enormously, and that trend has only accelerated since he joined the Senate. Unlike many Republican elected officials, Vance willingly and enthusiastically welcomes tough confrontational interviews on hostile platforms and handles those interrogations with aplomb. And that's good, similar to Trump, because Trump ain't afraid to sit down with anyone. In addition, anyone rooting for Donald Trump to serve a second term should relish the prospect of a Vance versus Kamala Harris debate. I can't wait. You know I'm gonna be live streaming that, which might prove almost as much of a mismatch as Trump's drubbing and mumbling Biden. Vance commands mastery of policy details, yet delivers that knowledge with clarity and likability. Ooh, he is gonna crush Kamala. As for the current vice president, well, let's just say she will not enjoy trying to match Vance in intellect and authenticity, and that's another major drawback for Kamala Harris. She seems so inauthentic. She seems so fake when she's talking to people. It's unbelievable. Number 4, the correct political detractors. Vance acts as a magnet for a particularly heated vitriol from the spokesmen and platforms of the American ruling class. Why? Because they see him as a former insider who turned on them. In other words, just like Donald Trump, Vance was once considered part of the club of elites, given his educational pedigree and experience in finance. Moreover, the huge success of his book and movie made him briefly the toast of the town in places like Silicon Valley and Hollywood. Like Trump, he could have continued on that path of lucrative deals and constant adulation from the supposed important people. Instead, to pursue better lives for Americans in circumstances he knew as a child and young man, Vance chose the more difficult path as a populist political thinker and office holder. He knowingly passed on rewards and accolades for higher patriotic goals, which speaks to his true character as a man and as a candidate. And lastly, number 5, youth and vigor. In a race where the cognitive state of the current president became a front and center theme of the campaign, the vitality and the strength of Vance provide an important contrast. But even more importantly, beyond this election, Vance is perfectly positioned to be Trump's effective partner and understudy for 4 years in the White House, and then to lead the America First movement well into the future after Trump's term. And I think that's a major reason why Trump picked him, to help push forward America First in the future. Intra-party contests can be tough and bruising, whether primary fights or competitions for running mate selection. Clearly, there were other super impressive candidates in the mix for this key position as vice presidential nominee. The GOP bench is populated and healthy, but all Republicans should now march in lockstep behind the ticket and trust that our fearless nominee, Donald Trump, has made the best possible selection in J.D. Vance. And we certainly hope so. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.